Hey everyone, and welcome back to GeoGuide. Get ready to have your mind blown, because today we're diving into 20 incredible geography facts that pit two giants against each other, Canada and the United States. You might think you know your North American neighbors, but some of these comparisons will completely change how you see the continent. Let's jump right in. First up, let's talk size. Fact number 1. Canada is the second largest country in the world by total area, while the USA is the third. That's a close race. But here's the twist: if you only count land area, the USA is actually slightly larger. Why? Because Canada has a massive amount of freshwater lakes, more than any other country on Earth. Fact 2 brings us to their shared border. It's the longest international border in the world, stretching over 8,891 kilometers, or 5,525 miles. What makes it truly special is that it's also the longest undefended border. A huge portion of this line, from Manitoba to the Strait of Georgia, follows the 49th parallel north. This line of latitude was established by treaties in the 19th century to create a clear boundary. Now for fact 3. What natural wonder do these two countries share? Think about it for a moment. If you guessed the Great Lakes, you're right. They share 4 out of the 5 Great Lakes: Superior, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. Only Lake Michigan is entirely within the United States. This shared freshwater system is the largest on the planet. Let's move on to coastlines for fact 4. Which country do you think has a longer coastline? I'll give you a hint: it's not even close. The answer is Canada. And by a staggering amount, Canada's coastline is the longest in the world, at over 243,000 kilometers. The USA's coastline, while impressive, is about 19,924 kilometers long. Canada's jagged shores and countless islands, especially in the Arctic archipelago, give it this incredible length. Fact 5 continues on this theme: the border doesn't just cross land, it also runs through water. It splits several islands, like the San Juan Islands and Gulf Islands, and even runs through a library. The Haskell Free Library and Opera House sits right on the border between Derby Line, Vermont, and Stansted, Quebec. Time to switch gears to climate and extremes. Fact number 6 takes us to the very top of the continent. Canada's northernmost point is Cape Columbia on Ellesmere Island, which is much closer to the North Pole than the USA's northernmost point, Point Barrow in Alaska. We're talking a difference of over 640 kilometers, or 400 miles, further north for Canada. Next, fact 7, temperature extremes. The United States holds the record for the highest temperature ever reliably recorded on Earth. Death Valley, California, hit a scorching 56.7 degrees Celsius, or 134 degrees Fahrenheit in 1913. Meanwhile, Canada holds the North American record for the coldest temperature. In Snag, Yukon, the thermometer plunged to a bone-chilling minus 63 degrees Celsius, or minus 81.4 degrees Fahrenheit, in 1947. For fact 8, let's revisit freshwater. As we mentioned earlier, Canada is home to more lakes than the rest of the world combined. It's estimated that Canada has over 2 million lakes, which hold about 20% of the world's surface freshwater. The USA also has plenty of freshwater, particularly in the Great Lakes and Alaska, but Canada's sheer volume is unmatched. Fact 9 explores the diversity of climates. The USA has a much wider range of climate zones. From the tropical rainforests of Hawaii and Florida to the arid deserts of the Southwest and the Arctic tundra of Alaska, the U.S. has it all. Canada's climate is predominantly cold, with long winters, though it does have temperate regions in the south, like in British Columbia. And for fact 10, let's look at a cool geological feature. Both countries are on the North American tectonic plate, but the Canadian Shield, a massive area of ancient rock, forms the geological core of the continent. It covers most of eastern and central Canada and extends into the northern United States. This rock is some of the oldest on Earth. So, to recap, Canada is larger in total area with more water and a much longer coastline, while the USA has more diverse and extreme climates. Whew, that's a lot of information. Before we continue, if you're enjoying these geographical deep dives, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to GeoGuide, and let me know in the comments which fact has surprised you the most so far. Speaking of shared wonders, here's a quick bonus fact: Niagara Falls isn't just one waterfall, it's actually three. The Horseshoe Falls are mostly in Canada, while the American Falls and Bridal Veil Falls are entirely in the USA. Alright, let's get back to it and talk about people. Fact 11 deals with population. The United States has a much larger population, around 333 million people compared to Canada's roughly 40 million. That's a huge difference, making the US population more than 8 times larger than Canada's. This leads directly to fact 12, population density. Because of its vast, largely uninhabited north, Canada is one of the least densely populated countries in the world. It has about 4 people per square kilometer. The United States is much more densely populated, with about 36 people per square kilometer. That's 9 times denser than its northern neighbor. Fact 13 is one you might have heard before, but it's still fascinating. About 90% of all Canadians live within 160 kilometers, or 100 miles, of the US border. Why? Because the southern part of the country offers a milder climate, fertile land for farming, and major economic opportunities. This creates a long, thin band of settlement across the country. Now for fact 14, which might surprise you. Many people assume Canadian cities are all much farther north than American ones. But let's look at the map. Toronto, Canada's largest city, is actually south of Minneapolis. And a large part of southern Ontario, known as the Windsor-Sarnia Peninsula, is south of Detroit, Michigan. In fact, Point Pelly National Park in Ontario is at the same latitude as Northern California. Fact 15 is about capital cities. Washington, D.C. is a bustling metropolis with a significant population. Canada's capital, Ottawa, is the country's 4th largest city but is much smaller than other major Canadian centres like Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. Its location was chosen strategically by Queen Victoria in 1857, partly because it was more defensible and located between the major provinces of Ontario and Quebec. Now let's explore natural wonders for our final set of facts. Fact 16 looks at national parks. The United States was the first country in the world to create a national park, Yellowstone, in 1872. Today the U.S. has 63 designated national parks. Canada followed suit in 1885 with Banff National Park, and now has 37 national parks and 10 national park reserves. Fact 17 is all about forests. Both nations are heavily forested, but Canada has a slight edge in total forest coverage. About 38% of Canada's land is covered in forest, compared to about 33% for the United States. Both play a crucial role as the lungs of the planet, absorbing vast amounts of carbon dioxide. Fact 18 brings us to a majestic mountain range. The Rocky Mountains, one of North America's defining features, stretch through both countries. However, the Canadian Rockies are geologically older and were more heavily glaciated. This gives them their characteristic sharp, jagged peaks, while the American Rockies tend to have more rounded summits. For fact 19, let's talk about oil. Both countries are major oil producers, but their reserves are very different. Canada has the 3rd largest proven oil reserves in the world, mostly in the form of oil sands in Alberta. The United States has seen a massive boom in shale oil production, making it the world's top producer in recent years, though its total reserves are smaller than Canada's. And our final fact, number 20, is about a shared natural resource: trees. The oldest living trees in the world are bristlecone pines found in the western United States, some over 5,000 years old. But the tallest trees are the coast redwoods, also in the US. Meanwhile, Canada has some of the most extensive old-growth temperate rainforests, particularly in British Columbia. So there you have it, 20 mind-blowing facts comparing Canada and the USA. From the sheer scale of Canada's land and water to the incredible population density and climatic diversity of the United States. These two neighbors share a continent, but have remarkably distinct geographical personalities. Which fact did you find most surprising? Was it the length of Canada's coastline, or that Toronto is south of Minneapolis? Let me know. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey across North America. We hope you learned something new and see the world a little differently now. Keep exploring, stay curious. And we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe for more geographic adventures.